All right, Shalom. Want to start by saying, HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach his truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick. So, round the way at the crib, doing laundry, and and it's a nice day. It's fairly okay outside. It's not too warm, but it's not cold at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially like the clothes I have on. It's all right. So I was, reading scriptures randomly, and I was in actually yesterday we ended it off. The brother ended it off camp with Isaiah the 30th chapter. So when I went to my Bible app, I seen it was still in there, right? So I read the whole chapter, and I read 31. So that's the long line where I'm gonna stay, and Lord through the Spirit, precepts or whatever come about. But like I'm gonna stick to the what I was reading, Isaiah 30 and 31, because it's pretty cut and dry. And something I thought of is I forget the name, but I think his last name is Garcia or something. So there was this guy who was a legal green card or visa holder of America, and he was deported somewhere. I forget the country. I don't know if it's Ecuador, El Salvador, but he was deported in one of these countries. And basically, there was a thing that happened where the judge, regarding the case, whatever, asked the fucking federal government his whereabouts, and they said they didn't have any information on what basically they didn't know where he was at. So the judge was like, "Well, how could you not know where he's at?" Blah 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 blah. So what's been happening is the Lord, these devils, through the spirit, through the power of the will of the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, has been coming down on Israel as far as the northern tribes and this whole so-called illegal immigrant shit, right? So that goes into what it says in the scriptures in Isaiah 30 and 31, where it talks about woe to them to go to Egypt for help that trusteth in the shadow of Egypt. So these northern tribes, all Jake, but these northern tribes, they trusted in the shadow of Egypt because why? They came over here because of the circumstances of their regular native countries that's in South America, Mexico, wherever, what have you. And basically they came over here for basically a better life. Now you have a lot of our people that came over here and have maintained, that got a citizenship legally, that did all the due process and all the procedures, that jumped through all the hoops that Esau has you go through, and right now they're still coming down on people like that. So that goes to show what the Lord said in the script. Well, the Lord says he declares things that are right, right? So he said the ones that if you trusted in Egypt, that should be a shame unto you. And now look what's happening. Now Egypt, aka America, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, and now it's what? Now it's a shame unto the northern tribes that came over here trying to get a better life. Because now they're being deported. Now they're called illegal immigrants. Now the Lord got these devils got the radar heavy on them right now. And that's all part of the affliction. That's all part of the oppression. That's all part of the hatred that Esau has for Jacob. And that's all part of the prophecy. Like, people don't understand, like, these prophecies, this is real. The prophecies that are prophesied in the book of the Holy Bible by the prophets that preach the name Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, that's faithful and true. Now, right now, it's Sunday. You got people going to the pork chop pastor 501c3 buildings, hearing a bunch of bullshit from the pastor, and no prophecy. But here it is, prophecy is taking place right around all of us throughout the whole earth, not just America, throughout the whole earth. Prophecies is coming to pass left and right, and they're coming at rapid rates. But you have Esau, especially mainly here in America, coming down on Jake right now, because why? He knows his time is short. And the Lord said that in due time, the Lord said he was going to smite the Assyrian. He was going to smite the Egyptian. He was going to smite the Babylonians. And America represents all of those, man. The Chaldeans. When you fast forward, this represents America, because now America, Esau, for Esau the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of it that followed. Esau was the last heathen to rule before Jacob got his rulership back through YAHAWASHI. And YAHAWASHI is going to come back and destroy Esau and the rest of these heathens and throw them in captivity. Pertaining to Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, around the 16th, 17th verse, where it talks about all they that devour these shall be devoured. That's what's about to happen. But before that, we still going to be getting devoured. Jake's still going to be getting devoured, especially the ones of the unbelieving bunch. Because it said, I'm going to get the scriptures. My tablet's charging, that's why I'm not using my tablet, but and it's actually talking about Judah, but Judah, Jerusalem, they all doing the same shit. But so it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1, and it reads, "Woe to the rebellious children, save the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and they're covered with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So what? They trusted in Esau. They trusted in Trump. You had people talking about, oh, they voted for Trump. And before Trump, they trusted in Obama, who was also a heathen. They trusted in Joe Biden, who was an Edomite. They put that before all this election shit was ended. They was putting their trust in Kamala Harris, thinking she was gonna be the one to get them over the hump of all this bullshit we've been going through in America. But now we have what? We have Donald Trump in there, and he's being that cruel lord, man. He said he's firing everybody, deporting everybody, saying all a bunch of bullshit, tariffing everybody. He's being cruel to the whole earth. But that's just going to show that Esau's time is running out, because now he's just being diabolical. But who's he going to be most diabolical to? Towards the Israelites. All right. Continuing on, it says Isaiah chapter 30 verse 2, and it says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. See what? They walk to go down to Egypt but not asked at my mouth. So whose mouth are they asking of? Esau, Edom, these other gods, religions. You got a lot of our people, you got a lot of our people that still into these other religions like Islam. You got our people that trust in man, trust in idols, but basically they don't trust in what? They don't trust in YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. That's what the Lord is saying. They trust in everything. They trust in anything but me. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 3, and it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, which is what the title of the video is. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because now look at it. Now look at Jake. All these Northern tribes that came over here and thought everything was peachy. Oh, because they came over here, they was able to, make a better life for themselves, able to work, make good money. Some of them sending back to their countries where their families are still at. Bringing more of their family over here. That's what you had going on for years, man. And they were living comfortably. They would think everything was all right. They would think it wasn't so bad. But now look at 2025. This devil has completely flipped it. Well, he didn't flip the script per se, but he's completely made it hell in a short amount of time, in a few months. He's made it a living hell for Israel. And it's only going to get worse. And on top of all of this going on with the deportation, you still have a full-fledged war that's about to go down. Trade wars. This devil is he's fucking scrambling, man. And now he's using every bit of power he thinks he have left to basically squeeze the nations, man. That's why he's tariffing everybody. But at the end of the day, what? Now Babylon is not, but the thing about what they failed to realize is that Babylon, aka America, Babylon the Great, aka America, it's not the powerhouse that it once was. And now you have all these other countries who are also powerhouses. That you had to do from China to talk about, we don't care about your tariffs, man. You only represent 15% of what we got going on. And it's going to be an ongoing thing, because he can't just stop the tariffs. We're coming to points of, these actions that people are taking, there's no turning back. And who also is going to get affected by this the most? Jake. When the prices, when everything gets worse for the world, it gets 10 times worse for Jake. But that's why he said what? Isaiah 30:3, he said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, because now it's a shame unto you, man. Even the ones that's not on some deported shit, the ones that trusted in Trump, that thought Trump was going to make it better for them, now it's to your shame. Because now he's all, taking on the black jobs and this, that, and the third, and we got to get them out of here. Sending people to El Salvador without due process. Going against the moral fabric that you claim to have. Going against your so-called constitution. And like I said, they're doing this to people that went through the process of what you wanted them to do to become citizens, man. Some of those people, they had visas, they had green cards, and they still say just grab them all up. It says, verse 4 says, for princes were his own, and his ambassadors came to him. Now Zones is a spot in Egypt, and I believe Pharaoh lived there. Because it's talking about Egypt, but when you fast forward to the spirit, the Lord said what? Hold up, matter of fact. A quick precept. So this is the book of chapter Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of a great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." That's talking about right here. That great city is America, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. What are the main things that these devils push over here? Work, 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 being a slave, job, all just working all the time. And what? This motion. And Israel, these dead bodies, these fucking sleep zombies, the ones where it said where our Lord was crucified. Now, granted, our Lord was crucified on the eastern side of the world, but on the spirit, it says spiritually. Those same spirits is over here. Those same spirits is right here in America, Babylon the Great. That's why the Lord said, "Yo, this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt." But going back on to Isaiah chapter 30, verse 5. It says, "They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them." Because what? Esau can't profit us, man. And now they're all ashamed. Now our people are like, damn, like, yo, shit is fucked up. The very, very, very system and society you trusted and thought everything was going to be peachy for you, now it's to your shame. Now you're being deported. Now you're being oppressed. And these devils are doing it at rapid and rampant rates. And it's not, and remember, it said that this devil knows he have but a short time. So the cruel wrath, once it starts, it's not going to stop. It's only going to get more cruel. And what Trump is doing is proof of that, man. And it's all ultimately through the elites and through the elites from the Lord. But the Lord said, what? Now, he's doing this, man. The Lord said he works on the minds of the kings. Esau, this is Esau's kingdom. So that means that the Lord is controlling Esau and having him come down with this cruel wrath to fulfill what? His will. And it said, "They were all ashamed of a people that cannot profit them, nor being help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach." Now it's a reproach, and now they're being reproached. Now Israel is feeling like, damn, like it's going back to how it once was. And it says what? Judah and Jerusalem were oppressed together. Because prior to Judah coming over here, he did what? He was oppressing the northern tribes, Gad, Reuben. Because in the time of Isaiah, when this was written, the northern tribes was already over here. Because remember, the northern tribes, they came over here a couple hundred years after King Solomon died during the Assyrian reign. But Judah, the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, was still over there in the eastern side of the world. That's why it said that's why in this chapter on the top caption it says, "Woe to Judah." Because Judah was over there. But you have Judah and Jerusalem oppressed together now. So now they're doing the same, they're under the same standard of trusting in Egypt, trusting in the shadow of Egypt. Just like in the time of ancient Egypt, in the time of Moses, where the whole tribes of Israel was trusting in Egypt. That's why I said trusting in the shadow of Egypt. They trust in oppression. They think that this place eventually will be good for them. But that's not the case. The Lord said, this is not your rest. This is the land of your captivity. You will always be a captive here in America while this place is existing. That's why the Lord is going to send YAHAWASHI back to deliver the elect first and foremost, and then deliver the whole nation of Israel from bondage. But I'm gonna jump down to verse 7, and it says, "For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this, their strength is to sit still." So what? It said that for the Egyptians shall help in vain. So all these politicians, all these people that you think is here to help you, it said they shall help in vain. Look what Obama did. Obama's greatest accomplishment was the whole thing with Bin Laden and the fucking Mo shit. It wasn't nothing to do with no Jakes and the so-called black people in America. It said they help in vain. Joe Biden, what the fuck did he help for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Nothing. His whole thing was the morality being killed, and the whole thing with the war shit. And it's C-19. Remember, the whole C-19 is what they had, is what's to usher in what they have going on right now. All the CBDC, this AI, and it might be another emic. Who knows? Because they talk about this other viruses and other bullshit out here getting people sick. So now I'm going to jump to verse 9 of Isaiah chapter 30, and it says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. And that's what? Northern tribes and southern tribes that will not hear the law of the Lord, which is why the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, is laying it on them through these devils. Making it said now the shade, now the strength of Egypt should now be a shame and a reproach to you. And that's what it's doing right now, being a shame and a reproach. Now you have deportations, you have this, you have that. Shit gonna get extra expensive. Who that's gonna affect the most? Jake. And now it's getting so bad to where now it's gonna start affecting all American citizens. Because shit gets expensive for everyone. And Jake got the worst of the worst already. Now the worst of the worst is gonna get more expensive. And it's not like people's wages are going up. The cost of living is going up. The cost of food is going up. The cost of everything is going up. And now you got this Trump, this cruel Lord, tariffing everybody, and that's going to make shit even worse. On top of all of that, now you got all this shit going on with the war, the third woe. So so the Lord's prophecies is all unraveling as we speak. As we speak, as things go on. It's what, April 13th, 2025 AD? Very well, this year could usher in a whole lot. This could be the year they usher in the MOTB. This could be the year nukes get shot. It's a bunch of things happening leading to these. We're in the last days. So it's actually we're leading to the last day of Esau's rulership and the first day of Yahawashi's. Yahawashi's great return. It says Isaiah chapter 30 verse 10, and it says, which say to the seers, see not. Say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit. So that they say, yo, nah, tell us smooth things. Tell me what I want to hear, not what I need to hear. Tell me everything's going to be okay. Tell me that there's a brighter side in America for our people. Say that Massa is going to respect us one day. Massa is going to have our best interests at heart one day. It said that the Egypt, it says where is it at? It says for the Egyptians shall help in vain. When you do something in vain, you're not doing it off of the kindness of your heart. You're doing it on some scheming shit. So all these politicians, all these people that they're fucking heathens at that, even the ones that's Jakes, like the mayor of New York, like these Jake officials, they're under the same deceit. They're ushering in the same deceit, but they just put a so-called black man or so-called Hispanic man or so-called black woman or so-called Hispanic woman instead of a so-called white person. But they still doing the same. They still doing the will of these elites and these Edomites, Amalek especially. It's the same thing. You had the same thing happen back in the time of the Roman Empire. You had the same thing happen in the time of the Greek Empire, and all the other empires. You had what was it? What was that? Maccabees it basically said put off being a Jew. Oh, the time of Egypt, Babal, Molech. All these other gods, all these other they always try to have Israel not follow Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And these devils about to do the same thing because now you got Trump talking about prophets of doom. They're gonna try to choke the word. They're gonna try. Their goal is to get the prophets off of the streets. They don't want to hear Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI on the internet anymore. They don't want to see the prophet. You don't think that these officials and all that drive past prophets, the internet, they see the prophets prophesying the downfall of their kingdom? We're talking about the downfall of your kingdom, Esau. What? How much longer are they going to allow it? That's why the Lord said, what? Then they should persecute thee. for my name's sake. That's what the Lord said was going to happen. That's what's about to happen. Everything else is unraveling. You think that the persecution not going to come? The persecution comes every time, in whatever kingdom that we're in. Because why? We're prophesying against that kingdom. All right. Continuing on, it says, verse 11 of Isaiah chapter 30, and it says, "Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us." That's our people right now. I don't want to talk about that Bible stuff. I don't know. That ain't ready for me. But what's going to happen is, as time goes on, you're going to understand and have the error of your ways. You're going to understand that, that's what you should have been following. But the Lord blinded you, and the Lord doesn't want you. Now, granted, if you're an Israelite, you're still going to be good. But we're talking about on this side right now, because the Lord said, "In this day, those that wait upon him shall not be ashamed." So what's going to come upon the ones that's not waiting on him? Shame. That's why the Lord said, "What? For the strength of Egypt shall be a shame and a reproach unto you," because the Lord is destroying this place. Every day, every hour, every minute, the Lord is destroying this place. And every day and every hour that passes, we're getting closer to our kingdom. And that's what these devils are going to be coming down with more of a cruel wrath, because a day is a day. Every day that passes is a day that you're losing a day in your kingdom. That's why they want to rush and do a bunch of things, because time is not on your side. Time is on our side. And soon enough, we're going to be in a glorious state on the earth. So this is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12, and it says, "Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression, and perverseness, and stay thereon." Verse 13, "Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant." This shit about to get broke. And if you are an Israelite that's trusting in this place, you're going to get broke right with it. Because it said you want to trust. It says, "Wherefore thus saith Isaiah 30 and 12. It says, "Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word." You despise this word? You got our people that despise this word. They make mockery of the names of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. I know people personally that have done it. You see, back in the day, you used to see heavy scoffing. But the Lord has something for that. He has something for those people. He says, "Because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness." What's going on right now? A bunch of oppression, perverseness, TGs, just real, all this OnlyFans and all this porn, all this Cornhub, all of this shit that they got going on is a bunch of perverseness. And it said they trust in oppression. They know this place is fucked up, but they still want it to continue because they want to beat the system. You're not going to beat the system because the system is rigged against our people. So anytime we get in a little bit of I don't want to say like a happiness, but anytime we get a little bit of like a edge, they come down with the oppression again, because this is not our rest. And ultimately, the Lord said, what are you trusting in oppression for? Because at the end of the day, no matter how successful you get in America or whatever in this Esau's kingdom, you're still going to be oppressed. And your people are still going to be oppressed. All these rich Jakes, these sellouts, but Jake is still in oppression. These celebrities are still under oppression. Just because Esau gives you the bag, don't mean he ain't going to oppress you. He's going to oppress you in the bag even more. That's why, Jay, you can't say certain things. You can't, agree with certain things. You had the whole thing. I remember with Dwight Howard, we had posted a thing about Free Palestine. They said they called him immediately and said, "You got to take that down." Because what? That's what? That's oppression. They talk about freedom of speech, this, that, and the third. Yeah, but you can't speak against Emily. You can't speak against the 48ers, though. That's the only thing. You can't speak about indecency. You can't speak about the immorality of this place. You got the music. Even music. What do they sing about? They sing about bullshit. They sing about perverseness. They sing about idolatry. They sing about wickedness. They sing about adultery. Great rob and murder. Why is that? Why can't they talk about something good? Why can't they talk about something else? all these rappers, the quote unquote woke rappers, they ain't no better either because they still on some idolatry shit. No, you cannot, and you cannot get a bag in Esau's kingdom and prophesy in the names of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. They don't work like that. That's why you had these so-called Israelite groups like the IUIC and all that. They talk about Hebrew Israelites, but they still chasing the bag. In turn, that's why they don't use the name YAHAWASHI. They don't use the name Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. They can't. Because they don't ruin the bag. You don't have, the real prophets are not out here for a bag. Now, granted, you know, brothers send offerings, tithes, and whatnot, but brothers are not in this for the bag. The bag is coming from YAHAWASHI. That's the bag. What else we got? It's possible. So I'm gonna jump down to okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go to verse 15. So this is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15. Now the whole chapter is good, but I'm going to certain verses that's like, keying in on the trusting and oppression. So it's the book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15, and it says, "For thus saith the Lord God, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved, in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not." So what's the confidence and strength of Israel? Trusting in the Lord. But it says what? In verse 16, it says, "But ye said no, for we will flee upon horses. Therefore shall ye flee, and we will ride upon the swift. Therefore shall they that pursue you be swift." And that's what's happening right now. Esau do this dude Trump. The pursuing is swift. They all this, the deportations and all of the firings and all this, it's swift. These devils is moving quick. Everything is happening so quickly. Because the Lord said, what? He's shortening the days. You don't think Esau knows that time is flying? Because why? His time is flying. Remember, this is his rulership. We're not just living life. It's not just existence. We are in a kingdom that is Esau's kingdom. The Lord said he hates Esau. The Lord said Jacob's going to rule next. This is a story of the Lord. We're a living part of a story. And the story is that we're in Esau's kingdom. And the Lord said in this time and in these days, the Lord said he would shorten the days. Because why? To get Esau the fuck up out of here. And that's why when you seeing what you're seeing, it's time moving fast. And through this time moving fast, what is Esau doing? Coming down with a cruel wrath and swift pursuit. And the Lord said, what? On Jake. Because you have a lot of illegal immigrants it's in America that's not Israelites. But you don't see them coming down harder on them. They coming down hard on who? The Lord's people. All right? But there's a bright side to this, because when you read, go to Isaiah chapter 30 and jump down to verse 18, it says graciousness and mercy. And it says, "Therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be gracious unto you." Now, who is you? The Israelites. "And therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you, for the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him." Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Blessed are all they that wait for him. So who's waiting for the Lord right now in this present time? The elect, the remnant of Israel, the remnant of Jacob. Those are the ones preaching Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI in sincerity and in truth. Those are the ones waiting for America to be destroyed. The one that's waiting for this war to pop off. The one that's waiting for these devils to bring up the MOTB. The ones that's waiting for these devils, to attack Iran. Those are the ones, it said those. But remember, a majority of our people are not waiting for the Lord. It said that they despise the law of the Lord. That's right now, because in the kingdom to come, Israel's not going to despise the word, because the Lord is going to have the law, statute, commandments in our inward parts. And starting with the elect, when they get changed, when Yahawashi comes back. It's going to be he's going to purge all wickedness from Israel. That's what Yahawashi about to do. So when the elect are changed in the time we live in right now, so when their seed comes into play, the ones that are destroyed on this side, they're going to be all good. Because that's going to be the time of the redemption. That's going to be the time that Israel is made pure, made righteous. And Yahawashi is the one that brought that. Verse 19, it says, for the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem, thou shalt weep no more. He will be gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. Now, who's crying right now? The elect, the prophets, the believers. They're crying right now to the Lord. That's small, that's little sanctuary. His little ones, those are the ones crying around. The one that's crying around in this world, in this age. It's always the prophets. And that's how you know we at the end, because the Lord said what? He set up his apostles last. And it says, and though the Lord it said verse 20 of Isaiah chapter 30 said, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. Now, who are the teachers? Start with the apostles of GMS on down, and the men that preach on the highways and byways on this internet, the names YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, and the truth and the prophecy. Which are in turn who? The prophets. The true prophets, not the false prophets. I hope to be part of the elect. Because right now, the time that we're in right now is leading to the salvation of Israel is nigh. And the downfall of Esau is nigh. You see how that works? Just like how we went down, these other nations came up. Well, now the Lord is about to put all these nations down and bring up the nation of Israel and never bring down that nation of Israel ever again. It said the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. And we jump down to verse 22, it says, ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver and the ornament of thy molten images of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a mistress cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence. Yo, Jay, get rid of them idols, man. No more Hazel crystal, no more Allah. Because Israel going to be the first one to get rid of these idols. And remember, these heathens are going to follow suit. Because once they see the salvation of Israel, well, they're going to know that their gods are not any real gods. We were talking about that other day, like how like these other nations, they're gonna denounce their gods as not being real gods. Once they see the salvation of Israel and know like that's got to be the children of God. Because only a God could do that. Only a God can lift a people from the bottom and lift them up all the way to the top. Just like there's got to be a God to lift them up from the top to the bottom. But the Lord did that for a reason, because why? Our disobedience. For man, one of those disobediences was us going after the gods of these other nations. See how that works? But now the Lord is about to has his remnant, his elect, that bring about his name, prophesying his prophecy, and now the prophecies are coming to pass. Because we're at the end. Ooh, hold up. And we jump down to verse 27. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 27. And it says, behold, the name of the Lord cometh from far, burning with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire. And his verse 28, and it says, and his breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck. It says, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity, and there shall be a brittle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. But hold up. Where did that indignation come from? Where is this burning with his anger, and the burden there is heavy, his lips are as full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire? What's going to spark that off? These missiles. Because remember, this war that's about to take place, the war that they claim they don't want it to take place, but they're preparing for it nonetheless, getting these missiles ready, getting these nukes ready. This very war that they're preparing for is going to be part of the Lord's indignation and part of that fire. And when the Lord sends YAHAWASHI back, he's going to bring more fire, more fire. And that's going to be the determining factor to know that, oh, that's the one true living God. And his name is going to be what? YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. It said, behold, the name of the Lord coming from far. Behold, the name of the Lord coming from far. What is the name of the one true living God? YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And his chosen people, who? The nation of Israel. The people that come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are his chosen ones. That's his chosen nation. Those are his people. Those are his people. Period. No one else. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So what I want to get up. So that fire is coming. Well, I wasn't gonna go into 31, but I gotta get back to this. I'm gonna end it short with that. But that I really want to bring up more so Isaiah 30 because that's what's coming, man. And Isaiah 31, it goes to the same thing. Woe to that go to Egypt for help. Like, why are you going to the people that clearly hate you? This devil has shown nothing but hate and disdain for the Israelites. And yet our people who are the Israelites, who have the one true power, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, they said, no, we don't want that. We don't trust in man. We don't trust in a man that hates us like that. We're going to trust in oppression. We're going to trust in perverseness. We're going to trust in vanity. We're going to trust in idols. And that's why the Lord said, what? Then that's going to be your shame. And now you see it. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honor to the powers of Israel, a.k.a. the powers of Great Millstone. And peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.